So here's the tea. What was supposed to be a sweet little birthday outing for baby Lilibet turned into a full-blown, jaw-dropping PR catastrophe. And guess where all the chaos went down? Yep, freaking Disneyland, of all places. What was meant to be a dream day for a toddler became a nightmare for Meghan and Harry's image. Because once again, these two just couldn't resist the spotlight. June 4th, under the glowing California sun, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle strutted into Disneyland with Archie and Lilibet. Picture-perfect family day, right? Wrong. This wasn't a normal family trip. Not even close. The moment those candid paparazzi-style pics leaked online, everyone and their grandma could tell this was not spontaneous, this was staged, scripted, and oh so suspiciously convenient. Let's be honest, for a couple who keeps preaching about privacy, Harry and Meghan sure have a way of showing up at the most high-traffic, camera-swarmed locations in America. Disneyland isn't exactly a quiet escape, it's literally a walking paparazzi trap. But guess what? Harry and Meghan didn't sneak in through the back. Oh no. They walked right into the lion's den. Front and center, no private tour, no effort to stay discreet, just out there for all the world to see. And boy, the world did see them. Within hours, those grainy, coincidentally perfect shots were slapped across every front page. Charming family day, they chirped, but scroll a little further and bang, Archie and Lilibet's faces were blurred. And that's when the internet exploded.
Multi-millionaire who's raked in a fortune by regularly abusing his family and regurgitating private stories in books and TV shows while simultaneously lecturing the rest of us about not invading privacy.
People weren't buying the "I just a family outing" narrative anymore. It was the same old playbook. Use the kids for sympathy points and headlines, then slap a blur over their faces to pretend it's about protecting their privacy. And nobody called out the hypocrisy more brutally than Piers Morgan. Oh, honey, Piers didn't even name names. He didn't have to. We all knew exactly who he was talking about. In a savage post, he slammed celebrities who post their kids for clout, only to blur their faces like redacted government documents. We see you, he snapped. And boom, the illusion shattered. Social media lost it. That one post from Piers was like a match on dry hay. It blew everything wide open. This wasn't some magical family memory. This was a PR landmine, and it detonated hard. Fans, critics, and trolls alike all started asking the obvious. Why Disneyland? Why now? And if you're so desperate to protect your kids' privacy, why drag them into one of the busiest, most photographed places in the entire country? But here's the wild twist. This wasn't just the public rolling their eyes. People inside Disneyland were whispering too. Staff members, allegedly, noticed that Meghan and Harry's entourage, oh, they weren't hiding. In fact, they were shockingly visible, like almost suspiciously camera-ready. It was like watching a damn Netflix promo in real time. It's the same perfectly framed angles, the same emotional fairy tale-like moments, the same carefully constructed image that just felt a little too choreographed. And that's when the knives really came out. Because this wasn't just cringe anymore, this was manipulative. Let's get real. Harry and Meghan don't do anything without a game plan now. Every move they make is cinematic. Every rare appearance is part of a bigger campaign. So what was this? A random birthday celebration? Please. This whole charade reeked of damage control. Meg's podcast numbers were in the toilet. Her lifestyle brand was tanking harder than a lit balloon. And suddenly, voila, here comes the cute Disney day with the kids. Applicable, adorable, and oh so perfectly timed, except, oops, it backfired. Big time. Instead of melting hearts, it sparked rage. Even their loyal fans were sitting there like, ugh, what are y'all doing? The contradictions were just too loud to ignore this time. Because how can you sue the media for invading your privacy one day and then deliberately march your kids through America's tourist mecca the next? People aren't dumb. They're just done. And speaking of people who are done, guess who else is reportedly fed up? Prince William. That's right. The future king is over it. But on the inside is that this constant circus act isn't just embarrassing the monarchy, it's dragging the entire royal family through the mud. But before we dive into that royal fallout, let's stick to the PR wreckage. The legal drama and the growing mountain of backlash crashing down on Meghan and Harry like a tidal wave, because this time, people are finally seeing the truth and they are not amused. Social media unleashed a storm of memes, threads, and savage captions as soon as the Disneyland pics went viral. On X, formerly Twitter, on Reddit, on Instagram, it was a roast session for the ages. If you want privacy, maybe don't stage a photo shoot at Disneyland, one viral post snarked, racking up likes in seconds. Another scorcher, it's Kardashian PR with a crown. Even longtime Meghan defenders couldn't hold the line this time. It wasn't just the blurred faces or the location, it was the timing. Just days before Trooping the Color, the royal celebration of King Charles' birthday, this little photo stunt lands. Coincidence? The palace didn't think so. In fact, sources close to the king said it looked like sabotage, a blatant PR attempt to upstage the monarchy during one of its most high-profile events. And using Lil Leb's name, that hit a whole new nerve. Let's pause here. Lil Leb isn't just any name. It's tied to Queen Elizabeth II's legacy, her childhood nickname, a name with weight, a name with history, and using that name for a Disneyland media stunt while simultaneously trashing the royal family in interviews and lawsuits, that pushed King Charles over the edge. One royal aide allegedly said the king felt deeply humiliated by the whole thing. And let's not forget, Harry and Meghan never even asked permission to use the name Lilibet in the first place. The palace made that very clear when it was first announced. Yet, here they are again, spinning the narrative and using the queen's nickname as a marketing tool. The audacity. And now, here come the legal threats. UK media insiders claim Meghan and Harry are preparing to sue Piers Morgan over his latest post. Yes, again. Remember, Meghan already tried to muzzle Piers after he refused to back up her Oprah interview claims. That's what led to his dramatic exit from Good Morning Britain. But guess what? He's back, louder than ever, and he's not playing nice. He's not just poking holes in their PR game, he's tearing the whole thing down. He's calling out their curated parenting, their poor me lawsuits, and their total lack of transparency. And the worst part? He's not wrong. Meanwhile, in California, Meghan's much-hyped podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, flopped harder than expected. Despite the glossy promos under her new brand, American Riviera Orchard, it barely made a ripple. Downloads were low, engagement non-existent. So what did they do? Drop a family-friendly distraction. But instead of softening their image, it made things worse. It exposed the formula. Every time a project flops, boom, out come the kids for a photo op. Every single time something goes wrong, a new round of curated family moments mysteriously surfaces. It's become a pattern. A very transparent, very tiring pattern. And guess what? People are over it, and over it in a way that even their most loyal defenders are starting to whisper, are we being played? Meanwhile, Prince William, who's always kept his cool, always taken the high road, is reportedly done playing the diplomat. Behind closed palace doors, he's said to be leading serious conversations. Not gossip, not petty drama. No, we're talking real discussions about stripping Meghan and Harry of their remaining titles. Yes, that's right, titles. Gone. And it's not just William. Senior royals who once hesitated to stir the pot are now waking up. This Disneyland disaster might have been the final straw. A family name dragged through the mud for a theme park photo shoot? Nah. They're not tolerating it anymore. And let's talk optics. The fallout wasn't just online snark. This little photo app rocked public perception. People no longer see Meghan and Harry as brave escapees of a rigid institution. Oh no, they're now viewed as master brand managers, trying to squeeze the last drops of attention and relevance from their royal past. And the public's asking, what do they even stand for anymore? Let's do a quick rundown. Netflix, that mega deal gave us documentaries full of complaints and trauma flashbacks. Spotify, dead. Meghan's podcast, flopped. American Riviera Orchard, not even making waves in a kiddie pool. Everything they touch seems to fizzle. And when that happens, guess what they pull out? The kids. Every single time. Frame it just right, blur the faces. Leak to the media, let the headlines take over. But this time, the media didn't play along. Even tabloids like TMZ, Daily Mail, and Entertainment Tonight, who usually eat this stuff up, they weren't feeling it. They printed the pic, sure, but the tone was chilly, critical, and worst of all, bored. That's fatal in PR. The whole "we just want to be left alone" shtick is collapsed under the weight of Disneyland's neon lights, long lines, and paparazzi swarms. Because no one accidentally shows up to the most photographed place on earth while trying to protect their kids. And let's not forget King Charles. The man is already walking a PR tightrope, juggling public approval, royal tradition, and family breakdowns, and then this happens. Another mess, another distraction, another stunt. One insider said his reaction was a heartbreaking combo of sadness and quiet fury, not just because his son pulled another media trick, but because Lilibet's name, the Queen's name, was used like a clickbait caption. And now, word is the palace is seriously considering legal options. One rumor, they might move to strip the children of their HRH titles. Not to punish them, but to draw a line in the sand. Because if your brand is going to turn the monarchy into a Netflix thumbnail or a podcast teaser, then the crown needs to fight back. And William? Oh, he reportedly believes Meghan never truly wanted to be part of the family, that the entire whirlwind romance, the interviews, the photo ops, they were all part of a bigger play, a strategy, not a struggle. And looking back, that theory holds up. Meghan didn't ease into royal life. She entered with press alerts and red carpet-ready outfits. She came in like a brand, not a bride. And now, with all the projects collapsing, the public support waning, and the spotlight dimming, the fallback plan is too obvious. Cue the emotional family moment. Cue the accidental paparazzi shot. Cue the blurry-faced children. Cue the media explosion. But this time, the public didn't cheer. They groan. Even former royal staffers, people who've kept their mouths shut for years, are starting to leak. Whispers about Meghan being difficult, dismissive of protocol, and more interested in standing out than fitting in are getting louder. And what's worse, it's working. That need to stand out has finally made them outsiders. Harry, once the beloved cheeky prince, is now reduced to the sidekick in an ongoing victim narrative. The same boy who walked behind Diana's casket now headlines Instagram stories for theme park stunts. And it's tragic. The public, they've moved on. They've watched this pattern repeat too many times. They've seen the drama before. And now, with each stunt more obvious than the last, even the scandals don't hit the same. At the core of all of this lies a blunt, brutal question. If Harry and Meghan really wanted privacy, why does every move feel like a season finale? Because honestly, from where we're all sitting, this isn't about healing or truth or family anymore. It's about headlines, it's about brand deals, it's about keeping the narrative going no matter how exhausting it's become for the rest of us. A Disney day wasn't sweet, it wasn't simple. It was a messy, calculated, disaster-tier publicity attempt that blew up in their faces. And now, the monarchy is angry, the public is numb, and Meghan and Harry are once again center stage. But not in the way they planned.